So here I am back again with Kim Wright, and I'm going to give her a very open-ended question. Kim, what would you like to tell people who read my blog? Mostly lawyers, but there are various and sundry other readers too.
I think the thing I've heard most from lawyers is that they thought they were alone, that nobody else had these ideas, and that the legal system was in some ways as solid as a building. It was just like somehow it's been created. There are ideas like zealous advocacy hasn't been in the rules for decades, but in most places, but it's still there, like it's a structure in the system, that some of these conversations that exist in the legal system don't really have relevance anymore, but they still live there. And basically, we made up the legal system. You know, it's there the way it is by agreement, and people can change it. And they can change it in ways that they didn't think they could. And I think that's probably the criteria for my cutting-edge law interviews. People who've changed the system in some way that most people wouldn't have thought possible.
What three top ways would you say, if you could say in 5 years that 3 changes had been implemented in the practice of law or the legal profession, what 3 would make you the happiest? Or what 3 would be the most important as far as you're concerned?
Well, that's a great question for a lot of thought, but off the top of my head, I would say the first is that lawyers feel like they have a choice in actually how they practice and doing it in a way that's consistent with their values, and that they feel like they can be consistent with who they are, that they don't have to put on a role to go off to practice law.
So an integrated kind of
approach. I think that if I saw the legal system being completely successful, that there would be a lot more interdisciplinary and holistic approaches in all areas of law.
Can you give me an example of a holistic approach?
Well, I think the problem-solving courts are a great holistic approach. They actually, when someone comes in, for example, with a drug problem, instead of just locking them up, they actually look at the big picture of how did the drug problem come about, and they focus on recovery and getting the person into a life that actually supports sobriety and supports them being a productive citizen, instead of just locking them away and then having them come out as a felon with no other prospects and expecting them not to go back to jail.
So by holistic, you mean the whole person's life?
The whole person's life, the societal approach. I'm in Colorado, and one of the things I read in a newspaper article was that Colorado had actually overestimated their prison population by 8,000. And one of the people interviewed said that the reason that there weren't so many prisoners was because the crime rate had gone down, and that they were putting fewer people in jail because of the drug courts. And so that's a societal win. And it's a win for the individuals. And Judge Peggy Hora, who's one of the people we interviewed, has done a lot of research about the judges are happier when they're doing that kind of work. They're more satisfied. So that's holistic on many different levels.
The third change?
The third change would be that a lot of those ideas would actually infiltrate the political system as well. That the incivility that is going on in the political discourse now would actually be informed by a more civil discourse.
So it would be a part of the legal profession, but also broader.
It would be broader. It would be societal. People would be able to resolve their conflicts in healthier ways. I think conflict is inevitable, but how we solve it gives us a lot of choices.
How much of I remember a long time ago thinking about the notion that we usually have exactly the kind of legal profession that the culture deserves or wants or needs or can use. What do you think about that statement?
A lot of people tell me that. But what I found was that a lot of my clients came to me thinking that that's all I offered.
Mm-hmm.
And when I sat them down and said, well, that actually isn't what I offer, is that aggressive or adversarial. I have all these other kinds of tools in my toolbox.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them kind of relaxed and said, oh, thank goodness.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought that's what I had to do
Mm-hmm.
to resolve this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think that we have Jerry Springer. We have,
Jerry Springer's actually a lawyer by training, isn't he?
He is. We have, reality television that does not represent everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we see, so that's what we think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Anything else that you'd like to add before I turn this off?
I think my website is cuttingedgelaw.com.
Okay.
My book is called Lawyers as Peacemakers, Practicing Holistic Problem-Solving Law.
Okay.
And it's published by the American Bar Association, and it is currently out of stock, but they expect it to be back in next week.
Oh, okay, great. Now, do you think that, no, I guess, never mind. It's too bad I don't know how to edit, because that's something I definitely would edit out. I'm going to learn on this particular video, though, to do some editing. Anything else before I turn it off?
No.